YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here, and I'm back with a familiar name to me, maybe not to you all, but one that was very familiar to me a while back. That's right, I have here Wolf Blademaster. He used to run, like, what is it, Wolf Total War, or I had to go look up his channel, but he was Wolf Blademaster. He made a lot of videos on Total War Rome 2. It's fun stuff. Really a great Total War player, and he said that he's just recently gotten into Warhammer 2. I'd watched a lot of the online videos on my channel and wanted to go play some, and so this is him getting into the foray, and he's leading a Skaven army here, so that's pretty brave to be taking Skaven if you're new. He's got a couple of gutter runner slingers, could be potentially very useful. A couple of clan rats on the front with spears, a couple on the flanks with swords, and then he's got two storm, or actually just one on the one flank. He's got two storm vermin, sword and shield, and one with halberds, two rat ogres, one hell pit abomination, and he's got a gray seer of ruin with this oh, I can't remember the name of this mount. It's not the furnace, it's like the bell, screaming bell or something like that. And then he's got his warp lightning cannon. That warp lightning cannon is going to be really important. He's fighting up against Morathi, hits her with the howling warp gale, which is a great way to get some artillery shots. One flank, he's got a cold one dread knight bearing down on him, and on the other flank, it's just a dark riders with shields. He's going to use his rat ogres like cavalry. It's actually a very solid choice for them in terms of their use. They got a lot of charge and they deal a lot of armor piercing damage. If the enemy cavalry doesn't have anti-large, then they'll actually do pretty well. So he's up against two hydras, 4 bleak swords, 2 dread spears, 3 black art corsairs with hand bows. Yeah, and the 2 hydras are going to be a phenomenal terror to try and destroy. Now, storm vermin with shield or sword and shield, I find them to be almost useless because they just don't take apart enemy infantry fast enough. They do give you a little bit of armor, but they're kind of like clan rats that just last a little longer, get a few more kills, and die a slight bit slower. So, I don't know, again, I don't find them terribly useful, but Morathi has her Howling Warp Gale. He does have this Storm Vermin with Halberds, which I actually find to be a slightly more useful unit. You can see over here his Rat Ogres combined with the Clan Rats do a good job of berserking some Cold One Dread Knights. Very expensive unit that he's able to take out of the battlefield there, and his 2 Gutter Runner Slingers have been kind of targeting and hurting Morathi. Over here, he's going to manage to get into some Black Art Corsairs with hand bows, but he's still taking a lot of missile fire. But being in the presence of the Hell Pit Abomination will help out. That Abomination has already done a lot of damage to one of the Hydras, but the Hydras do heal at a pretty rapid clip, so something to be aware of. The infantry fight in the center is going fine, but he's taking shots from these hand bows. It's not great. Out here on this flank, his Rat Ogres cleaned up the Dread Knight with the combination help from the Clan Rats. He's got some units that are going to come back in. He's going to drop a Warp Lightning here. Gonna do some good damage in these Dread Spears. Try and take them out. He's got the Rat Ogres that defeated the Dark Riders with shields. They're gonna come back into combat now. You can see he's got a bit of a problem. His Grey Seer is trying to take out these Black Art Corsairs with hand bows, but they're gonna be able to skirmish and fire in every direction, which can be pretty difficult to deal with. And now the 2 Hydras teaming up on the 1 Abomination will be more than it can handle, even though it's actually dedicated anti-large. And the Rat Ogres get back in here to try and help. It's definitely not going to hurt, but it's a tough fight. Again, you can see he's being kited over here. He's definitely got a tough fight on his hands. He's got to get rid of these Hydras. One of them actually routs, which is lucky for him. But they heal, and it's likely going to come back. These Rat Ogres took a Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma from Morathi. He's got a couple of units here on this flank that can be reactivated. He's keeping his slingers and his artillery in the back, and he's keeping them alive, and his artillery continues to fire away, doing very important damage, keeping Morathi on the move and keeping her honest, as well as doing damage to these War Hydras. So the Warp Lightning Cannon was a very, very good pick here. And the Grey Seer just having trouble connecting with these hand bows, so now it's just going to have to turn around and take shots in the back as it just tries to work its way back to the fight because it's just being kited away. These Rat Ogres get back here and wrap up some Bleak Swords, so that's great. These Clan Rats gonna have a little bit of trouble probably finishing off the Dread Knights. Maybe, maybe not, depends on the charge. The Gutter Runner Slingers back here still alive is a big deal in the late game. Those Slingers can help poison and do a lot of damage. There's no really particularly high armor unit here for the High Elves. So the Gut Runner Slingers were, or sorry, Dark Elves. So they were actually a really excellent choice, in my opinion. They're annoying, they're hard to catch, and they poison enemy units and do damage to low armor units. So again, overall solid pick. So Blademaster's left flank is all cleaned up, but he's still got to deal with a Hydra with a decent amount of hit points left. That is not going to be easy to deal with. One of the Hydras is still over here fighting. This one's routing, but as it routes, it's gaining hit points rather rapidly. It's one of the things, the Charybdis is definitely better at killing large units, but the Hydra is really good against infantry, and its regeneration is really good. Makes it a very powerful unit for the price, and it gets 2 breath attacks on top of that. So the Charybdis does not get breath attacks. Makes me wonder why. See, the Rat Ogres are hopefully going to catch up with these hand bows, but they're going to take a lot of fire. The hand bows will just turn around and fire while they're being pursued, and the Rat Ogre's relatively low armor leaves them very susceptible to the hand bows. The hand bows don't do a ton of missile damage in and of themselves, but it's going to be appreciable after enough volleys. But they're going to finally catch these hand bows. They're going to just keep running away, though, which is what they should do. If they keep running and fire, it'll cause the most damage. Back over here is going to be some more Warp Lightning coming in on these stationary Dark Elf units over here. Nice hit. The Storm Vermin with Halberds is chasing a War Hydra. And the Hydra's going to take a little bit of damage here, but probably not for long. Yeah, the Terror's going to kick in. Here's where his best chance is. These Gutter Runner Slingers, only 50 armor and a relatively large hitbox. And then you've got the artillery in the background too. Look at that disgusting big dead Hell Pit Abomination over here. Let's follow this Hydra back into combat. Storm Vermin turned around and started fighting again, but they're likely to get terrified by the Hydra. Indeed, they did. The Hydra continues to take shots. It's almost like those shots are being blocked by the corpse of the Hell Pit Abomination, though, strangely enough. So let's see here. Slingers still going to be doing their thing up against the War Hydra. Oh man, that Warp Lightning Cannon is going to pay dividends here in the late game. There's nothing left to protect it, though. The Grey Seer doesn't want to get in the way of that Hydra, and I can't blame him. That's a one-way ticket for the Grey Seer, and it's not a ticket to a good place like a vacation. So the Warp Lightning Cannon is going to finally get silenced, but not before it did a tremendous amount of damage, and now this Hydra brings itself up really close to the Gutter Runner Slingers. Some of them are trying to take down Marathi. Oh, actually, they turned around to get one more shot, and they scored it. There goes Marathi. What a hit by the Gutter Runner Slingers, and that last clutch shot from the Warp Lightning Cannon, and then the Hydra goes with them, as well as the Blackheart Corsair, so clutch play by Blademaster. Clutch play, that was nice. And then he manages to catch and possibly rout these Blackheart Corsairs with hand bows here. His Grey Seer should be quite good against infantry. He's got a nice bonus versus infantry splash damage. Good charge. Yeah, the Hydra continues to rout. Now the danger here, though, is that some of the Slingers are starting to run out of ammo. This one's got a little bit left. The Storm Vermin regrouped, the ones with Halberds, fortunately for him. So let's go see what's left. The Dark Elves are not finished yet. Ooh, get a last couple shots out of this Warp Lightning Cannon. Might as well use him up. He's targeting the Hydra out there, I believe. Looks like he's got 2 more volleys, maybe. There you go. We got a shattered Hydra here, so Blademaster very fortunate there to get the shatter. That is a big Hydra. Seems like it'd be hard to miss, but he actually did just miss a couple shots. Sucks for him. It's good for the Dark Elf, though. So there's a Corsair with hand bows. Oh, just barely a miss there again, too, because of the terrain. And finally tags a hit there. But no more ammo for the Warp Lightning Cannon. So he does have some Slinger ammo, though. And that should be enough to do terrible damage to the Hydra. It slows it down. Poisoning drops leadership. And in the late game, that's pretty devastating. and it also hurts melee attack, I believe. So he's going to rout the Hydra. It doesn't want to come into the face of that sling fire. So that leadership debuff is actually really important at that point. Again, though, we got a hand bow, some bleak swords. The Hydra actually stops routing, but it's still within range. The slingers have 4 more volleys. The Hydra can't heal anymore. It's down to 2,200 hit points. It's got a Storm Vermin, 39 Storm Vermin chasing it. A few Gutter Runner slingers, which also have poison melee attacks, which again could be very clutch here for Blademaster, because all the poison is going to be huge in taking down leadership here at the last moments. Oh, that Hydra's just gruesome against infantry. There's the Storm Vermin. They hold their ground, and they actually get rid of the Hydra. And the Skaven pull off a very clutch, very close battle. That was an excellent submission by Blademaster. And if he's here, Blademaster, come link your channel in the comments, man. I'll see if I can go find it, but if not, link it in the description. I don't know if that means you're going to make videos, but if you guys like watching videos, he's got a bunch of old great videos, even if he's not going to make anymore, which I don't know what his intention is. But thank you for sending this, man. I hope you're doing well. It is good to have heard from you. I always enjoyed your videos back in the day. It was a lot of fun. And thanks for sending me this one. It was a great battle. Hannibal, thank you for giving us a great performance here, too. Those 2 Hydras, in my opinion, were a great pick against Skaven. Skaven typically does not do well against large units. They do have the Hell Pit Abomination, so yes, they can counter it. But again, with all these hand bows and then the Hydras, you know, one would think that they can probably handle it. And then you can see, though, that the Dark Elf player saves the money by taking cheap infantry. And the cheap infantry didn't account for the fact that he was probably going to run into all these Storm Vermin. And you can see the Storm Vermin didn't do great. The Hydras shut him down with the combination of cheap infantry. But, I mean, this one with the Halberd, even though it didn't do a ton of kills, pick up a Chevron or anything else like that, it was actually pretty clutch. It helped rout a couple of these Hydras and set up a position where the slingers and the artillery could be successful and finish what they needed to. As Greyseer did a good job. Lots of Warp Lightnings. He used a breath attack fairly well at one point in the battle too, which I'm not sure I caught, but he killed off some hand bows with a nice breath attack. So overall, fun army. It was really, really good to see. I see him going after Skaven too early on. Skaven's an interesting faction. They definitely feel like one of the weaker factions in multiplayer, but they're fun to play. If you can figure it out, they're definitely fun to play. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now. I'll be back with more soon. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. And then also it helps me out a lot if you want to subscribe, click that bell. You'll get notified of new videos and be the first one to get to view them. So take care of that. HeirofCarthage signing out. I will see you all next time for another